Hi, I'm Blake Alexander, and today I'll be talking about the Minnesota Gophers football team for my video blog. The Gophers are currently 8-0 this season and are playing very good football. They are also ranked 13th overall. The Gophers are coached by PJ Fleck, who is a very young coach in the league. He is currently in his third season with the Gophers, and a lot of their success can be credited to him. First off, PJ Fleck gets a lot of really good recruits to the Gophers football team. Minnesota is a Big Ten school, and they are Division I, but they aren't as big as some of the other football schools like Alabama or LSU. PJ Fleck takes this and uses this to his advantage. He gets a lot of star recruits from around the area as well as other schools and brings them in to become really good football players. In later teams, the Gophers haven't been the best in the past. They've finished about 500 overall, but this year they are doing super well. On top of that, PJ Fleck creates a bond through his team. Outside the field, he gets the guys to be together and do bonding activities to grow them stronger, as well as spends time with them on and off the field and participates in their activities as well. The Minnesota Gophers are able to work together on and off the field to become a better football program. Off the field, PJ Fleck does a lot for the community as well. He does numerous fundraisers as well as meets with fans and players' families to better boost the organization. On the field, you can see him on the sidelines fired up during the game. Before the games, he runs onto the field with the players and acts like a player during the game. You can see him sprinting up and down the sidelines during the games as well as cheering loudly on the sidelines. Another thing that PJ Fleck has done is row the boat, which is his mindset for the team, where if everyone's working together, they can keep moving forward, thus called rowing the boat. As far as some of his recruits, one of which has been talked about in the news lately, is the kicker and placeholder for the Gophers. He's a 4-time cancer survivor, and when no one gave him an opportunity, PJ Fleck reached out to him and gave him a spot on the team. In last week's game, he was able to play and was a part of 4 drives. The Gophers' success can be tied to their players as well, some of which are Rodney Smith and Shannon Brooks on offense. They're both running backs, and they can both run the ball very well. What other teams do differently is have one star running back, but the Gophers have 2 very strong running backs that can switch off and both run the ball with excellence. On defense, Carter Coughlin runs the defense and is a star player who we'll probably see in the NFL soon, as well as Sam Runner, who is a stud on the defensive line. Another key player is Tanner Morgan, the quarterback for the Gophers. He is a star as well. The thing that the Gophers do well is they have a great running game as well as a passing game, and that works to their advantage in many of their games. In their past games, they've beat opponents by up to 40 points. The Gophers' success so far this season has set them up for future games this season as well. The Gophers play Penn State this weekend, and that is going to be a very tough game for them. Penn State is also undefeated, and they are currently ranked number 5 overall. They have a bunch of studs on their team. The Gophers' key to success for the weekend will be that it is a home game. The Gophers playing at home is a huge advantage because of the student section and fans that pack in to watch them play. The Gophers' support this season has been huge, and especially with the season so far, there will be a lot of fans in attendance. I think in order to beat Penn State, we have to establish the running game early, as well as our passing game later in the game. If we can run the ball and pass the ball well, the defense for Penn State will not be able to stop us. I think the Gophers will be able to pull off the win if they all work together, and I think the final score, it's going to be close, but I think the Gophers will prevail in the end. Our next game, we play Iowa, and Iowa, we play them on the road. Iowa's a good football team too. They're ranked 19th, but the Gophers can beat them as well. Their hardest game of the season will be Penn State, but if they can get a win against Penn State, they'll have momentum going into the Iowa game. Our final game of the season is against Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a huge rival for the Gophers, and that has been for years. This year, they'll be playing for the Axe, which is the trophy that they play for every year between the Gophers and the Badgers. That game's going to be at home as well, and it'll be cold. It's the last game of the season. Temperatures will be dropping, and it'll be a great battle. Overall, the Gophers have shown great success so far this season. Hopefully they can finish the year off strong and have a winning record to go home with. At the end of the season, if they continue to win, they can become bowl eligible and play for many different types of bowls. Hopefully this year they can play for one of the higher up bowls. In other news, the Gophers are going to be a strong team throughout the rest of the season. A lot of their players are healthy and keep showing great performance week in and week out. The defense is very deep. We have a lot of players that can play in any situation, which is another key aspect of the Gophers. If one man goes down, the next guy's ready to play, and that will show great success for the Gophers at the end of the year. Thank you.